Hello, my name is Keith Morales. This is discussion for week 5. Let's give this a try. I've never done this before. I have chosen this week for my social networking site will be Facebook. The individual I've chosen we will refer to as Mr. Smith, who I know personally in my life. I have also chosen the behavioral as a domain I will focus on in this discussion. So, as for the profile for Mr. Smith, after reviewing Mr. Smith's social networking site at Facebook, I was able to conclude that he reflects a complex personality, being extroverted in many areas of his life as well as being introverted in one particular area. The extroverted areas that I was able to notice were in Mr. Smith's home life, in which he has posted many intimate pictures of his husband and his dog. Mr. Smith seems to dote most of his postings on his home life. The other area that Mr. Smith seems to be extroverted in is with his friends. There are many comments that have been posted by him reflecting his relations with different friends as well as his experiences together with them. The area that Mr. Smith seems to be introverted is his professional life. I was not able to find any posts that reflected his work environment or coworkers. Using behavior domain to profile Mr. Smith, it is obvious that his surroundings play a major role in his life as reflected in Facebook. I would have to conclude that Mr. Smith is very happy in his life outside of work and most likely content in his professional life. Adding to Mr. Smith's profile, there is a definite characterization of socialism that is consistent throughout his Facebook postings and pictures over 5 years. Mr. Smith's social network indicates that he socializes through the norm of society by using pictures, language, that is not considered to be extreme or offensive. Overall, Mr. Smith seems to be a well-rounded individual, showing no negative signs mentally or emotionally. I have chosen behaviorism model to use to compare and contrast the personality profiles of the two distinct people. The classifications of behaviorism, there's classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Classical conditioning demonstrates when a neutral stimulus acquires an illicit property of unconditioned stimulus. Through pairing the two together, you're able to get a behavior. Behavior is controlled by association. The operative is conditioning is demonstrated when the reinforcing consequences immediately follow the response, increasing its future likelihood. You do something and you get a reward for doing it. That would be operant. So these will be the two areas that I'll be focusing on when comparing the two different personalities. I've chosen two different personalities. One we'll call Mr. Smith, one we'll call Mr. Allen. By using the behaviorism model, I was able to compare and contrast two different personality types. I would define Mr. Smith as a healer, which is considered someone who is sensitive, caring, compassionate, and deeply concerned with the personal growth of others. It's also very individualistic and non-judgmental of others. They enjoy spending time exploring their own ideas and values and are greatly encouraging to others to do the same. I would define Mr. Allen's personality as more of the performer. These type of personalities are precocious entertainers who charm and engage those around them. They're spontaneous, energetic, and fun-loving, and take pleasure in things around them: food, clothes, nature, animals, and life. They're typically warm and talkative and have a great enthusiasm of life. They like to be in the middle of the action, the center of the action. When comparing the two profiles in these areas, the two individuals are similar in the association on how they are with other people. Their personalities, communicating, and socializing. The difference, I would say, between the two is how they relate in the way to others. One would be more introverted and one more extroverted. Mr. Smith being more introverted, but yet still with that classical conditioning, and Mr. Allen more of the operative. You can say that because Mr. Allen would be more of the defiant in nature, where Mr. Smith to be more calm and collected. When going to the next area, the difference between the real world and the online personality. I see that as an interpretation of what I've researched. The reality is Mr. Smith could be living out his real world on Facebook for all we know, and there would be no difference between the two. I would say after doing my personality profile, in my opinion, I would say that Mr. Smith probably lives about 90% truthfully his life online that he does in real life, and probably 10% of it it's just not reflected online through that would be the area which I stated before in his profile would be his professional work, which is not really documented in Facebook. So that would probably be the only area that it's not real world, if you want to call it real world. In my opinion, Mr. Smith refrains from giving too much information about his work life out of respect for where he works and not to be able to create any negativity in public about his work. The idealism of Mr. Smith in the domain of behaviorism is that his surroundings do dictate most of his actions, and personality is governed by what he has experienced through his life because of his surroundings. That is my posting. Thank you very much. Signing out.